Did you know they're making a Power Rangers movie? Just found that out. Hold on here. You're a little crooked. Alright. Yeah, I just found out they're making a Power Rangers movie. And, yeah. That's a little out there, isn't it? I mean, not saying that the Power Rangers... hold on here. I gotta do a little research. Because, I don't know how long they've been on. I know it's been over 20 years. I'm trying to figure out how long it's been since the original Power Rangers. And before I get laughed at, I will say I did not watch the Power Rangers when they first came out. Hold on here. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And it works too, isn't it nice? So. Oops. I'm totally unprofessional here right now. 93. It started in 1993. So I would have been 13 at the time. But I can honestly say I did not watch the Power Rangers when they first came out. As I got older, I had caught a few incarnations of them. And I will say this. For a show about... I should like this because I love Godzilla films. I love Gamera. I love kaiju films in general. And that's basically what Power Ranger is. It's like a kaiju film. Only 30 minutes long and featuring people. So, if you don't know what Power Rangers is, you're living under a rock. But according to the tales of yore, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers were a group of teenagers with attitude who were able to harness this incredible power to fight evil, and they defended the world. It was base, it was cliche, but my God, people liked it. And you know what? I think they haven't released any details about it, about the Power Ranger movie. They want to release it by 2016, and they want to try and make it into kind of a series, like a franchise. Okay. Here's my take on it. If you're going to make a Power Rangers movie, here's how you should do it. Do it like the Avengers. And by that I mean, don't kiddie it up. Don't. Okay? Do not kiddie. I know it's made for kids, but do not kiddie it up. I'll repeat that probably 5-6 times. And by kiddie it up, I mean, don't make it that a 3-year-old could explain it to you. Okay. I guess I'll just start from the beginning. The original Power Rangers. If you looked at this group that was chosen to be Power Rangers, it's no wonder this show always got criticized and ridiculed, because I'm not going by the Japanese Sentai footage. I'm not going by that. I'm going by the American actors, the people, the footage that they shot and fused together with the Sentai footage from Japan. If you were to look at these 5 kids who were chosen to be Power Rangers, you would think that they are the most cookie cutter, Boy Scout, prissy, valedictorian, 4.0 grade average, just cavity-inducing sweetness. Oh my God. kids, to put it in a Dungeons and Dragons metaphor, are lawful good. You know, there's the 5 alignments of D&D is lawful good, good, unaligned, evil, chaotic evil. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are all the way over there at lawful good. Like, they will do nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. They help their teachers. They get good grades. They help out the community. They do bake sales. They fix things around the park. They do community service. They volunteer for various projects. They take muffins into the old folks' home. They paint the houses of the poor farmers. You know what I get. They are such goody-goodies, and I think that's why I never liked the Power Rangers, because they were too sweet. They were too nice. And so, this is how I shoot if I'm the director, this is how I shoot my Power Ranger movie. First half of the movie, the Power Rangers are having fun with their powers. Okay? You cannot tell me that any teenager in the world, I don't care how good you are, or how sweet you are, or how innocent you are, I don't care if you're going for your Eagle Scout badge, if you get the ability to don a suit of power armor, I guess that's what you call it, have access to space-age weaponry, and can command a giant robotic dinosaur, you cannot tell me you would not have fun with that. Just for, like, a night. It would be like what Dick Grayson did in Batman Forever, when Alfred calls up Bruce Wayne. He goes, "I'm afraid Master Grayson is gone out for the evening." And Bruce Wayne's like, "What, he ran away?" Like, "No, he took the car." Like, "Oh, he took the Jag?" Like, no, the other car." The Benz? Like, "No, sir, the other car." And that's when it's like, oh, he took the Batmobile. Oh my God, he's joyriding around Gotham City in the Batmobile. And you know what? It made sense. Oh my God, did it make sense? Because he found the Batcave. You wouldn't be able to keep that thing shut. You find the Batcave. You see the Batmobile with the keys and the ignition. Of course you're going to take it for a test drive. Who wouldn't? Who would not do that? It's just like the Power Ranger. In fact, you could write like a deleted scene with Zordon, the floating head. He's in the tube, and the robot, Alpha, I think his name is. He's like, "Alpha, I'm detecting that the Tyrannosaurus Rex robot is not where it's supposed to be. Where is it exactly?" And the robot would say like, the Red Ranger said he needed it for something. He was, I don't know what, he just took it. And they would show the Red Ranger walking around the city in his T-Rex fucking robot. Dude, that would be so awesome. And you can't tell me he wouldn't do that. Not you. It's like the Pink Ranger takes the pterodactyl flying one day just to get away from it all, you know? The schoolwork is stressful. Her parents are fighting. I need to take a break. I'm taking the pterodactyl for a drive. Why? Because I can. But they never did that, and it always infuriated me. Pardon me. Because, oh damn, I'm getting excited. Because that was always the part that made me mad. Is that these kids would never do anything wrong. They would never. They would never be teenagers, you know. They would always go to class, like, oh, you need to go to class because this is how it's done. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. And I'm starting to wonder if you people can hear me because it is pouring raining out and I have the windows open. Shit. Hang on 1 second. Alright, I'm in a little more quieter room. I'm in David's room now and he's not here. So, what was I talking about? Oh, the Power Rangers. How they are just a bunch of goody two-shoes. And, they don't have any fun. They don't do anything what you would consider teenagers to do as fun. They don't joyride their robots. And now all the animals are back here. Oh, Jesus. I am the Pied Piper here. Okay, so how else would I write the Power Rangers? Well, it's interesting because, like I said, the Power Rangers are essentially just a kaiju film. Just a child's version of a kaiju film. And, like I said before, the writing for the Power Rangers wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad in the sense of, you know, you couldn't make this into more of an adult thing because the people that watched the Power Rangers growing up in '93 are now about my age, maybe a little younger. But, you know, you had your 7-8-year-olds around the time of the Power Rangers. They're grown up now. They want to see something different. Give them a more mature Power Rangers. And I'm not saying an adult Power Rangers by any means. You want to have your kids be able to go watch it too. And I think the Avengers does that. The Avengers, they had the violence and everything like that, but as far as being like really bad for kids, I don't ever recall being that bad. But with the Power Rangers, there's so many ways you could do that. Have each Power Ranger be different. Have them be like one of them just absolutely loves this idea. In fact, they did that with later incarnations of the Power Rangers, where one guy was just so psyched, so ecstatic to be in a Power Ranger, and the other one was like, "Oh, I don't know, this is too much. I don't think I want to really do this." And the other one was like, "It's all right." And the other two is like, "Hey, it is my sworn duty to help you, and I will." I think the Power Rangers, they followed kind of a linear storyline up until Power Rangers in Space. That's when, after Power Rangers in Space, everything just went, the continuity just went completely off the rails. It was a new team every year, new villains, whatever. And the villains. The villains. Again, I know it's a children's show, and I know that we're not supposed to have the big bad evil villains who always triumph. It's always supposed to be good versus evil, and evil is always supposed to be vanquished. But that's so boring. That is so boring. And I think kids nowadays are old enough to kind of accept the fact, like, you can still have the bad guys win once or twice, and at the end of the day, the good guys will still win. I don't think kids are going to matter with that. But I had told somebody about this before, and the very first thing they said was, "Tell me that Rita Repulsa is not going to be in it." I said, "I don't know, and I hope not." Again, unless you've watched the original series, you don't really know what I'm talking about. But if you have, yeah. The coolest villain was Lord Zed. And Lord Zed He looked like he belonged out of Hellraiser. In that he was this, I don't even know what you would call him. Just imagine this dude who's, all of his skin was peeled off of his body. All you see is his muscle tissue. He has this metallic endoskeleton on certain parts of his body, like his spine, his fingertips are metal. He has tubes of fluid running through him. He has this metal mask on. He has this like visor, like a Cyclops visor almost. He looked badass. For a Power Ranger villain, he looked awesome. And probably one of the better things to come out of Power Rangers in a long time. Of course, he turned into a simpering, whiny bitch, but for the longest time, it was something new, and it was something awesome, because he was Lord Zed, the ruler of evil, I guess he called himself, and he was definitely a way better villain than Rita Repulsa. Rita Repulsa had these big, like, hair horns sticking out, and she looked stupid. I'm trying to think of other good villains in the Power. There hasn't been many. I think Rancic was a good one. He was Time Force. Yeah, he was in Power Rangers Time Force. He was a mutant. He was cool because he could get a sword out of his leg, like his kneecap. He could literally pop his kneecap out and pull it out, and it ends up being a sword. That was really cool. But he was one of those guys that had an interesting backstory, and you could sympathize with him more because he was a mutant, and he thought that, you know, humanity was a blight on the world and needed to be eradicated. Sound familiar? I guess Trakina was a good villain too. She was that was what, Lost Galaxy. I think Trakina was the only thing that good come out of that one. Just some of the villains really lame. So I think Ninja Storm had one of the worst. You had the villain in Ninja Storm was Lothor. Now, on paper, this is what Lothor was: a ninja space pirate. Stop right there. In your head, you just pictured the coolest thing ever. A ninja and a pirate in space. Mind blown. I could sit down and write fan fiction for days on a ninja space pirate. But what do? They turn him into a puss. He gets makeover tips from his nieces. He's a complete bitch. Oh my god. Okay, right there. So, in your Power Rangers movie, make a villain that doesn't suck. You know? Make a villain that is threatening and actually looks like he could screw you up. And I guess the biggest thing about the Power Rangers was, of course, the martial arts and the violence and everything like that. That actually got a lot of people talking, because you had the choreographed martial arts and everything like that. Then when the Power Rangers morphed, they were fighting, they were shooting people, and really bad dubbing. And then they fought giant rubber monsters until the rubber monster blew up, and then Rita would be like, "Yeah, well, I'll show you. Grow, my monster, grow!" Yay! That was a big highlight. I don't remember, maybe the first episode, but after the very first episode of the original Power Rangers, it was almost required that the monster grow and you get the robots to combine the bigger robot, because we always have to be like Voltron, where, you know, form legs and hands, form torso and head, and we are Voltron. Because one thing Japan does great is they take giant robots, combine them together to make bigger giant robots. Brilliant! I love the Japanese. So, and the giant robot fights the giant rubber-suited monster, and that's it. Every week, same thing. The kids are going through a crisis. They send a monster. Rangers fight monster. Monster grows. Rangers get robot. Robot kills monster. End credits. 20 years later, it's the same formula. So, I don't know what they would do in a movie. I would assume they're not going to do a movie with the continuity of the show that's on right now, because they had already done a movie before. They had done Power Rangers the movie, but that was based mostly on the Mighty Morphin era. And honestly, the outfits in the movie looked really good. Because that was another thing that I didn't like about the show, was the costumes looked terrible. It looked like Halloween costumes you buy at Kmart. Like really cheap, flimsy costumes. At least with the movie, it looked like body armor. And another thing that really always bugged me was the helmets. Because when they put the helmets on, they would have the mouth, like the lips of the mouth where it's supposed to be, but they wouldn't move. And you hear these voiceovers in the over the helmets of the people, and it's terrible. You know that the actors are reading these lines like, oh Jesus Christ, I really have to say it like this? Oh God. All I ask is that it at least sounds like they are in a helmet, you know? Make it sound like it's over a radio or a comm or something. You know how if you get a walkie-talkie and you're talking through a walkie-talkie to somebody, it sounds completely different. It sounds like it's talking through a radio. Do that. Make it sound like they are actually talking on a radio. Makes sense. Or, better yet, like most of the newer versions do, get rid of the whole lip thing. You know, if you have lips on there, use them. If you don't worry about it. I know I'm just nitpicking there, but that's what happens when you talk about the Power Rangers. This is where this is how far I've sunk. I'm talking about the damn Power Rangers. And again, if it wasn't so dumbed down, it would be a really good show. I dare say this, and I know people are probably going to argue, but I think if the Power Rangers properly promoted, revamped for a more mature audience, not adult, but like young adult, you know, damn near CW audience type Power Rangers, I think that would work. I really do. Because right now they've redone the Green Arrow. Like on the CW, they have a show called Arrow. It's about the Green Arrow. And it's one of their best shows. And I sat down and watched an episode of it, and you know what? It is really good. That's all they need to do. Is if they want to broaden the Power Ranger audience, you know, it can still be for kids, but an adult could sit down and enjoy it on the same level. You know, get that nostalgia feeling back. Like, hey, I used to watch this when I was a kid. It's like with Transformers. You know, you watch the old 80s cartoons, and truth be told, they're not that good.
But then you watch Transformers Prime, which was the latest one, and both kids can enjoy it because it's giant robots beating each other up, and the adults can enjoy it because they can understand the real strong storyline to it. The really tragic storyline. Power Rangers can do the exact same thing. They can be garnered for a more adult base and still keep that kid factor into it. And I don't see how it would be that hard. Again, shoot it kind of like the Avengers, or even like the Justice League cartoon. The Justice League cartoon was dark, was really dark in a lot of ways, and some of the adults loved it. Kids loved it because it was the superhero thing. The adults loved it because, oh my God, this is really gripping storytelling. So, right there. Don't have the kids be so goody-goody. Have a great villain. And, above all else, don't forget that it's a Power Ranger movie. Have the giant robots. Have the kids have fun with them. Take them joyriding once in a while. Go for it. But if I was writing this, I wouldn't make it anything like any of the other shows. I would completely start from scratch. You know, retcon the entire Power Ranger saga and start from scratch. Because if you shoot it from the point of view of the original, you're going to alienate the original fans. And you don't want that. You want the original fans to come in and say, okay, I want to see a Power Ranger movie. But if you alienate what they are so used to and so used to seeing growing up, they're going to walk out of like, that sucked. I'm never going to go see that again. Blah, blah. Start from scratch. Start from the very beginning. Redo everything. New characters, new villains, new situations. And I don't see a problem with it. Now, the big question. Will I go see it? I don't know. I would have to wait to see a little bit of work on it first to see what it was. I know that everything will be CG, sadly. You won't see the rubber-suited monsters fighting. And I really think that hurts. You've got to have a rubber-suited monster fight. I'm sorry. There's just something about seeing a grown person in a rubber suit pretending to destroy a city. I love that. It's like the old Godzilla movies. I love the Godzilla movies. I love the Gamera movies because it's critic-proof material. It's a critic-proof movie. The Godzilla and Gamera series, you know what you're getting when you watch them. Okay? People review the old Godzilla movies. You can't review them because you know what they are. They're stupid monster movies. The acting is terrible, but that's only because nobody cares about the humans. They just want to see the giant monsters fight. Somebody had even said that Pacific Rim would have been the perfect way to do a Power Ranger movie. That's basically Power Rangers. It's two people piloting a Jaeger against a kaiju. Throw 3 more people in there. There's your Power Rangers movie. Just redo Pacific Rim as Power Rangers. Movie already about, 70% written? Throw in some space villains to say, like, I throw these monsters at you. Arr! In fact, it could have been a Power Rangers movie, because aren't the kaiju from space? Like, they come from a rift underneath the ocean, but I think they're from space. They're aliens, so... Right there. 80% of the Power Ranger movie written. Put Charlie Hunnam in there as a Power Ranger. Go ahead. Why not? Oh, God. I'm having too much fun. I love this new segment. I've heard some good feedback from it. I think people enjoy me just talking about stupid shit. Stupid shit. Stut. It's neither a bad word or a good word. It's stut. So, I'm rambling on. So, yeah, Power Rangers is coming out with a movie. We'll see, because... And I hope it's not the current reincarnation, because I watched some of it the other day, and... Ugh. Ugh. The acting. The acting in that show has gotten terrible. It was never good. But, oh my god. Honestly, the best acting I think any of the Power Ranger series had was probably Time Force. I honestly felt the most emotionally involved with the Time Force storyline, because it actually looked like the actors gave a shit for what they were doing. But I'm showing my inner nerd right now. But I swear I never watched this stuff when I was a kid. I grew up later and I watched it, and I have a little bit more appreciation for it if it just wasn't so damn kiddie. If they would shoot this in a way that an adult could watch it and not feel ashamed to watch it, like he's watching, all of a sudden somebody walks in the room, he's fumbling through the channel, like, this is what I was looking for. Yeah, so I hope it's quieter in here at least, because rain and traffic, everything. I hope I got most of it, but that's the risk you take when you film on a damn little Kodak camera. It picks up a lot of noise. So filming on location in David's room. I'll see you next time. I have some great ideas for a future segment, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to film it. First I have to see if I still have the stuff, but I'll get to that later. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll check you later.